This is Coffee signing on. So, before I completed this run, I had a sort of ill-conceived Rush to Space express delivery run. It's ill-conceived because at 100 steel per meter of space platform, you're just not going to get there. I was very sick when I tried this. Don't be me. At a certain point, just don't get sick. I hate to say it like that, but probably the only reason why I did that. So, while I was doing that, though, my driving was pretty bad, and I was running into some interesting things with quality in tanks. And I think I could tell a good story about the interesting places that our quality puts you. At the same time, I was getting some advice from a newer player named Nightsensk. And they had a really good idea. Just gonna wiggle through. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm not gonna run over that box of red science there. I'll run over a lot of things, but I'm not even going anywhere near that. I know myself too well, okay? I know what I'll do. Alright, that tank's done a fine service. I'm keeping it around. Are the tank boxes filled up? Nope. 20 and 19. Needs more engine units. But I need more double E units too, so... eh. Nope, 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 that's fine. Don't. Let's get it more engines. Sillies. Okay, looking for... too many. Okay, 5 more of them. With a bit of steel, which I'm going to go and, like, get from somewhere. Acquire. You know how these things work. If I need it, I need it. And there's some over at the train stop, so it'll be fine. But we got a discharge well, that's an energy shield. That'll be fine, too. Okay. Gonna grab one of those. Then one of those. These are 30 kilowatts a pop, so 10 more is 300. And that'll be able to afford one of those. Ooh, I can do a discharge defense now too, and I want one. So that's coming online in time. Okay, where's the good tank? The good tank's right there. Tank of uncommon moral character. and a really good energy shield. Then I'm going to put in more power, basically, to make it even more lovable. Okay. And since it's a combat thing, that's kind of how that goes. Let's see, this is backed up. Let's put 50 in here, just to be safe. So this is like... Nosferatu Zod, the immortal tank. Yeah. Good on that. That's more silos and weird satellite equipment that I'm gonna need. So I'll run that up when I get a chance. Trying to save enough space for maybe another exoskeleton in this thing. Make it a monster tank, basically. Okay. What are you doing? You're not having enough steel. That's very sad for you. Okay. But that will get you enough steel while I figure out a discharge defense by raiding the bats. So that should be enough for enough batteries, but not enough steel. So the deal is very much, I've got a super tank, and then I am grabbing a bunch of small tanks for some reason. If you can guess what I'm about to do, kudos! You're more clever than I am. I couldn't guess what I was going to do a long time ago. And I had to figure it out. Okay. And then I'll go up for 1, 2, 3, and then maybe one more. And now I have an extremely ridiculous tank-ish. Well, I also have to think, because I want to fit in one of these. And that's a 2x2, so really I want 4 more solar panels when I get the chance. Or batteries. So 10 is 300, and then 2600, and that is going to take care of 200, 200, 100, and a little bit for the personal roboport. And then I have some extra solar panels, so really I should do batteries for this. Yep. 2 more batteries, and then put in the discharge defense. Have a real rolling machine here. Any extra steel goes into the tank mill. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks. So I'll take off 3 from each side. Get rolling up there. just have 200 rounds of ammo, so I have to roll on that. So, there are some interesting things going on there. Here's what was more or less happening. Quality kind of tricks you. Because if you go in and you look at it, you're getting a 1% chance per module of getting something special. As you can see, you have 2 modules in Assembly Machine 2's, which is what I had available because I was doing Rush to Space. This is also a Rush to Space run, so that's why everything is Assemblers 2 in this run. Until it gets to a certain point, because I visited Fulgora. Tangent aside, you're in a really rough spot with quality. Because on this run, on this Novice, I have a normal tank. It has a very similar equipment grid. I think the personal RoboPort there could probably be swapped out for batteries and it would be a better choice. Because you can put those in your armor. Sometimes you make mistakes during runs. I'm definitely not perfect. I try things all the time. With that being said, if you look over at the RoboPort coverage, everywhere where this stuff is filled in like this was an old wall. So this captured out to here, and it got me everything that I needed to win this game. The extra area was added by Spidertrons later. So, quality, when you're playing with it, suckers you into making certain kinds of mistakes with your material. It's very easy to be overconfident with it. It's also very easy to rely on your intuition and make some very silly mistakes with it. It's just kind of the nature of how it works as a mechanic. So, here I have this new idea to test out right next to this new system, which gave me dozens of tanks that I was inclined to use in some way. So the way that Discharge Defense works is this. That just hit every biter in that area and stunned them for a second. Now that can get you out of a real hard spot. If you go and you get stuck on a rock and you pop a Discharge Defense and then back up, you'll be able to live. And that's relevant for bases that are huge, like this one. But this base has something special about it, which makes it very lethal and a difficult spot to operate from. And this is like Coffee's filmed several times, and he's not going to hide that. So see how everything's disappeared. You see this right here? You see how it looks like a normal rock like that one that you can run over? If you get stuck on that, you're gonna die. That little piece of rock has killed me every time I've tried to film anything happening to this set of bases. Every single time, without fail. And yeah, it's a big base, but like, watch. I'm gonna go over here. And this is a big base too. And as you can see, I'm just shredding this up, making Swiss cheese out of it, reducing it until they have no spawners left. Use that discharge defense. That's all of their small infantry gone. Again. That's me taking out most of their big biters. And look, that's normally how fast it is. I've gone after this with an uncommon tank, the same energy shields and everything, and without fail, that little rock's killed me. And I've had to think of a good solution to this situation. And what I came up with is new army rules. In army rules, it's 5 Shermans to 1 Tiger. And these all now have a couple rounds of ammo. And right, you remember how this game has a remote view? That's how I'm going to solve this issue. Okay. Out of ammo. Can't maneuver. Fighter's going, what now? That's not how this is supposed to work. And me going like, yeah, life not fair. And just causing as much havoc as I can. He's coming to check up on me, and I'm going like, come on over. Not sure this is what they meant by remote work. Gotta be careful about setting down tanks, though, because they can trigger a robot to go and replace them, and you don't want that. Now, what I'm really curious about, though, is this. So, you gotta think about it. I'm killing 6 nests for every tank. What I'm really curious about is how much is that compared to artillery? And the limit is really how much ammo I'm willing to put into these tanks, too. Because they can go for longer. Alright. So that's half the base destroyed. Oh, wow. They're coming to say hi. No touch. Alright, I still have another tank that I can use as a round. When you consider tanks as ammo, it's a great feeling. Fire, thank you. Yeah, that discharge defense just instantly flashes smaller ones. Okay. And since I've got the situation more or less under control, take the final one in. Just cause as much havoc as possible. And then I'm gonna go to work myself. But there's a line of rocks there, so there's another sticking point, which can kill you. But that eliminated all the hazard. Artillery is certainly going to get that job done quicker. Anything else still alive then? No? Alright. That's the first time I've been able to take out that base without needing to load up a save file. Alright. Those were some odd ideas. Do any of them survive, and do they survive enough to be used in a game that's brought to a win, under more reasonable conditions? Well, this is the one box where I could find a tank. In terms of what I used other tanks for, I will pursue crazy ideas like using them as budget auto mauls in Rush to Space. It's more challenging than it looks. I don't necessarily suggest it unless you want to run a maul without investing or being able to invest in a logistics network. As for the idea of a discharge defense, there's one in the normal quality tank because if it wasn't killing enemies outright, it was stunning them. And it worked with my playstyle where I use yellow ammo only because I'm cheap to a fault very, very well. Works well enough to use a normal quality tank when I can drive. You can see this is how it went on the production graph of this game, where there's 6 tanks produced on Novice. If I go over to Fulgora, there's quality tanks produced there and launched into space because I did Fulgora before I did Vulcanus and Gleba. But I used the right equipment to do it, and at the appropriate ratios that a person should actually pursue that idea. If you were going to pursue the idea of a distraction tank seriously, it would be to put a couple of rounds into it, drive by, fire those off, and then follow up, either letting the enemies engage with the tank and destroy it, or by shredding spider nests and then recovering the tank. It's not going to be easy to do that because the only way that you really can is to issue a deconstruction request like that. And if there's any ammo in it, yeah, the bots are going to react like they just did. You can't use a deconstruction planner too well. as you can see. It's just sort of an awkward thing. Distractors or just straight up drones, if you're willing to spend that much resources, then frankly put up a red ammo line and get some ideas that can perform extremely well. Wouldn't recommend the flamethrower. Tried it out. Was never impressed. As for the assertion that this could bail you out of a hard situation, well, to be honest with you, it did. Pop goes the weasel. The discharge defense is really great, actually. Because it's like, instead of having to mow everything down with ammo, I can just pop that. Alright. So looking good there. Okay. The construction bots are coming along slowly for some reason, and I don't really know why. But the thrusters are going to get done pretty quick here. And that'll give me something to do, because I could build those. Wow, that's a big nest. Oopsies. Hit a rock. Oh, there's rocks in there. Oh, that's nasty. Look at those rocks. That's lethal. Alright, but I'm coming to the end of my film time, which means I'm at about hour 15, and I'll get to Vulcanus at about hour 16. With some walls, but more gaps to be closed than not. A massive gap in power. And a lot of shrugging my shoulders and just going, well, this is what it has to be, I guess. Gotta watch out for that wall, though. Okay. Back off and back away. You'll notice the enemy mix is getting more and more blue biters as time goes by. That really is how it works. Okay. I have to go this way and just brave the storm. Okay, that got it. Last guy is stuck on that wall. Got him. Oh wow, biters. I can use the open country here and avoid the rocks, basically. That's the game I'm playing. Then come in, hit hard. Oh wow. I bounced off that rock, used the discharge defense to avoid a mobility kill. Okay, last one. Like, that's a really quick moment there when I bounced off that wall, but that was actually really scary for me. Okay. So yeah, I hit like a wall or something here and just popped the discharge defense when a wave of blue biters was right there, just like backed out of it without taking a scratch. That's what I'm saying, where it's like, no, I was given some really good advice about this device. I really like it.